Here we are in lovely Medowie, Newcastle, at Way to Be Honey, owned by Ben Brown, who makes some of the finest Manuka honey in the country, possibly the world. Anyway, we've designed these tanks for Ben. He wanted us to make tanks to cream very large parcels of honey, 7-ton batches of honey, which, yes, that is an extraordinarily large amount of honey. These tanks with numerous engineers, mechanical, electrical, we've come together and built these tanks, and they've landed here in Australia, where we spent the last few days installing and commissioning them. Right now, we're actually doing a real test batch. We're filtering raw honey from that vessel into this one on the right, and then we will, Ben will work his magic over the next couple of days and cream some honey. So these tanks, what can they do? They can hold 5,000 litres of honey. And they are double jacketed with 100 millimetres of insulation and a very, very dense coil heat exchanger on the body of the vessel. The tank is extraordinarily heavy, made from 6mm stainless steel, and has a 2mm stainless cladding wrap. The tank's rated for extreme temperatures, below zero up to 85 degrees Celsius. Not that those temperatures will ever be achieved, but they're the design parameters. They've been designed to mix 7 tons of honey down to 12 degrees Celsius, and you can see an enormous gearbox on top. A bit hard to get the perspective from this camera angle. That gearbox weighs nearly 400 kilograms, producing something like 9,000 Newton meters of torque, which is about 14 Land Cruisers. It's the equivalent of how many Olympic swimming pools of water, how many Land Cruisers of torque. So what can these vessels do? They can mix lots of honey. They can heat and cool. Now, heating and cooling is not connected yet, but through this 3-way valve with an automatic actuator, it'll switch between heating and cooling, controlled from our PLC. So there's the temperature of the product in the tank now, 34.2. We could heat it to 65, we could cool it to -5, or something more realistic, 15 degrees, and we would just press cooling on and away it will go. The mixing system, mixing honey is quite a specialised process. It's got run time and pause time. So if we set that to 2, the mixer would run for 2 hours, pause for 2 hours, and repeat the process. And these can be set to any duration. If you want it to run continuous, the pause time set to 0. Mixer can be run manually, of course, and that is now mixing inside the vessel, which I will take some footage of shortly. The mixer is controlled by a variable speed controller, and that control is simply controlled in percentages. 5% would just be creeping around, and 90% it'll be rotating at around 50 RPM. Inside our cabinet, all top quality stuff. Siemens PLC, Danfoss variable speed drive, good transformers, all Schneider switch gear, top of the range stuff. Wi-Fi connectivity, so the PLC can be programmed remotely. And of course, any food production system would not be complete without a CIP system. So this pump control, which I won't switch on now because the tank is full of honey, is for the CIP system. Centrifugal pump here, controlled by that button. You've got a T-piece and a valve off to the side so you can venturi in cleaning product or anything that you might want to add. You can suck in this way through the pump. And then once there's water in the vessel, suction from here to the pump and then delivery with a shut-off valve over the top of the tank where there are 2 spray balls mounted in the top, designed with the use of warm water or hot water to break down crystallized honey all over the vessel and the mixing unit. So if you happen to find yourself thinking, I wonder where I can get a 7-ton honey mixing vessel, look no further than Winery Consulting Australia. We have you covered.